Welcome to Melbourne, Australia for this FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 qualifier between Chinese Taipei and China. This is the final game in the first qualifying round here in Group B of the Asia region. China enter the game as heavy favourites, but Chinese Taipei have shown some real glimpses of top quality basketball throughout the qualifiers and could present China with a bit of a challenge here today. So it's not a gimme, that's for sure. Here's the table as it stands. Australia looking great at the top of the table, perfect 6-0 record. China 3-2, Japan finish off with a 2-4 record. Chinese Taipei 0-5 as it stands. Final game, Chinese Taipei versus China. That will close out Group B and close out the first qualification round for these four teams. Australia, China and Japan have all secured their progression to the sixth qualifying round, but that doesn't mean that China can take the day off. Every single result from this first qualification round will follow them through to that second qualification round and will impact whether they make it through to the World Cup next year. Just waiting for the teams now to be introduced to the crowd here in Melbourne, and Melbourne has provided a wonderful location, a wonderful venue for this qualification window for these four teams. Had some wonderful games across the weekend as China are now introduced, and it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from yesterday. They had a big game against Australia and it was an absolute nail-biter for the first three quarters, and then the Chinese team just imploded in the fourth quarter. Went down ultimately 48-71. So they will be looking to bounce back today, as they will have half an eye on the second qualifying round. They know that they can't just turn off. They need to finish the process, as today's result will follow them through to the second round as well. Coach Du will be frustrated with how yesterday played out, but I'm sure he spent a lot of time with his coaching staff to try and overcome that frustration and reset their sights on today's game against Chinese Taipei. And not an easy qualifying group for Chinese Taipei. Australia, China and Japan, when they got drawn in this group, they must have realised it was going to be a tough ask for them to get through. They haven't been able to. So their focus will switch now to Asia Cup. Today's game will play as a nice preparation game for that. In their group in Asia Cup will be Korea and Bahrain, and interestingly China as well. So they get to play them too. They get to play them again in a few days' time. Their first game will be against Bahrain on Tuesday the 12th of July. We're now going to take a break in commentary while we have the national anthems of both teams. First will be China and then will be Chinese Taipei. Both teams ready to go here in Melbourne. This wonderful facility. Here's our officiating crew for today's game. Dallas Christian Pickering, Park Hyung-jin and Leong Chuan Weng from New Zealand, Korea and Singapore respectively. They've been on hand across this qualification window, done a great job. Had some wonderful games, some great officiating. As we now close it out, this game between Chinese Taipei and China. A little under 4 minutes to go until the opening tip here. Last time these two met, China came away with a 94-58 win. As I say, China certainly enter the game as favourites. They've looked good throughout the qualifiers. Only 2 losses to the name. Both of those losses were against Australia, going down 48-71. Here's your starting 5 for China. Sun, Zhao, Go, Zhou, and Hu. Several of those players have had big performances. One of the probably standout players has been Zhou Qi, number 15 there. Averaging a double-double across the qualifiers, nearly 17 points, over 11 points per game as coach Dufen looks on. And yeah, he would have been frustrated from yesterday's game. His team were absolutely in it for 3 quarters. And then it all fell away in that 4th quarter as Australia really just stepped on the gas and China had no answer for what Australia threw at them. As for Chinese Taipei, well, the closest they've come was within 5 points of Japan, so they were close. That was back in February. But they're a team in growth, that's for sure. Plenty of young players on the roster, plenty of talent still developing through. Only 2 players over the age of 25 in their 12-man team. We have a starting 5 of Chen Tang, Wu, Lu, and Chen. Starting 5. Tang had a good game against China last time out. He had 12 points. Lin Bin Sheng on the bench also had 15 points. And as I say, Chinese Taipei and coach Chow will be looking forward to Asia Cup. Chance for them to push on and prove themselves at a regional level. Might not have gone their way for these World Cup qualifiers. Hit the reset button and go again in a little over a week's time. 8 days now until those kick in Jakarta, Indonesia. Coach Chow will be using this game as we enter the final minute of warm-ups. Using this game as a preparation for that tournament, important preparation for the tournament as well. As coach Du Feng draws out the final instructions for his team before they come out for their final qualifier. Sitting on a 3-win, 2-loss record. They really do want to go through to the next round with 4 wins and 2 losses. Chinese Taipei, I'm sure, would like nothing better than to cause the upset here, even though it wouldn't affect their results, wouldn't affect their qualification. I'm sure they'd love to enter the Asia Cup on the high of beating a strong Chinese team. Moments away from the opening tip. Opportunity to remind you, best way to stay up to date with the World Cup qualifiers as we enter into the second round is to download the World Cup Qualifiers app, available on Android and iOS. So make sure you get your devices out now, completely free of charge. Brings you an absolutely ton of content. So please do download that and join in as we go through. Gives you the option to vote on which team you think is going to win each game. It's fun to see what the fans think will be the result. See whether you're right as well. So we wait for the 5s from both teams to take to the floor. Instructions from the coach. Chuan there. Chinese team on the floor, and as I say, they looked great for 30 minutes yesterday. Before it all fell apart in the fourth quarter for them. All lessons for this Chinese team. It'll be Zhou against Wu for the opening tip. And the opening tip is won by Zhou Qi for China, and we get things underway here in Melbourne. World Cup qualifier between Chinese Taipei and China, and there's the start for Zhou Qi, averaging 16.5 points a game. Comes in and throws down to get the game started. Tang now uses the screen well, pulls up, long two, gets it to drop, draws the foul. That's a big play to start the game for Chinese Taipei. Look at the replay. Interesting jump shot style, Tang. Kicks his feet up, tucks them in as he takes the shot. And gives Chinese Taipei the lead with a three-point play to start the game. Chinese Taipei straight into a press, dropping back into a man-to-man. Hu inside, good ball movement. Go Chuan drains the three. And China have been shooting the three ball well. As a team shooting over 34%. Go himself shooting 46%. Chen got the lane, but decided to come away and try and recycle it back out. They've only got 3.3 seconds to work with now as that one came off. Go. Oh, and that smart play from Sun. Didn't give up on the play, chased it all the way through. Way with the heads-up play. China's lead now out to 4. 90 seconds gone. Chen moves it across to Wu now. Wu pulls up for the three, drains it. Early success from downtown for Chinese Taipei. Shooting under 28% in the qualifiers, so they'll be happy to see an improvement. Zhou tries to throw it down, but draws the foul and plays with real aggression. Zhou Qi. He'll head to the free throw line for 2 shots. There's the smart pass, and just keep really caught Chen Chao Hao a little bit sleeping in the low post. Really can't afford to turn off in that situation. Zhou Qi at the line. Comes up short with his first. That is a weak area in his game, 56% from the free throw line, the big man. This is the second as well. Rebound falls into the hands of Tang. Chen just puts the rockets on, tries to go coast to coast with that one. China will come away with it though. Oh, nails the corner pocket three. Both teams leaning heavily on the long game at the moment. Tang pulls up, comes up short, and Chinese Taipei just forcing the pace a little bit at the moment. Lovely pass, doesn't get the finish, but the putback is good for Zhou. If there's one thing Chinese Taipei have to do, it is box out Zhou. Otherwise, it is going to be a very long night for them. Foul called off the ball. to see who that one's on. Here's the last one. There's the cross court to go for the three. Here's the behind the back to the corner. Who couldn't get the score, but Zhou could get the putback. China's lead up to 6. Nice scoring start for China in this one. Chen. No good. He brings it up over the half. As Chow was knocked to the floor. Sun now looking to back his way down to the basket. Rejected though. Good defense by Chen. Trying to get the ball back. Chow for 3. He's short. Rebound in the end. Pulled in by Sun. Sun now steps up. Free throw line jumper. Too heavy. That one bounces out of bounds and it'll be a China ball on the baseline. 3.5 minutes gone so far. Nice smile on the face of Chow Rui. Pu now being harassed, draws the foul from Wu. A little over exuberant on the hedge, chased out a little bit hard. Chinese Taipei picking up another team foul. Neither team in foul trouble as of yet. Pu now. Nice drive inside, good kick out. Chow for 3, nails the big 3. The credit really has to go to Sun for the assist. A lovely handle and good vision to kick that one back out to the wide open Chow for the triple. Chen now hands it off to Tang. Patience here from Chinese Taipei. Lu. Not this time, and Chinese Taipei's offense is all but stalled right now. Inside to Zhao, and he's going to pick up the foul from Sun. Chinese Taipei just don't quite have the size to deal with Zhao. That's the pass, look at that. Left hand whips it round the corner. Extends China's lead to 9. They're going to make the change as we see Sun come out and Lu come in. Blocked but fouled. Blue's going to get called for that foul. As his namesake at the other end of the, on the other side, Lu will head to the line. Lu Wenbo will go to the free throw line. Hasn't shot free throws as of yet in the qualifiers. This is his 3rd game. In fact, yet to register a point, Lu Wenbo. That's his first of the qualifiers. Gets a second to go as well. Substitution called. Lu will go out, Chow comes in. Chen now setting the offense up, calls for horns, but only one side turned up. Doesn't get the score though off that left-hand screen. Chinese Taipei have really struggled after a bright start. An and one play and hitting a big 3. Completely dried up for them. Zhao now in the low post. A double has to come down. That's going to leave Chow open for another 3. And that is some beautiful team basketball for China. They really are in full flow right now. Forces Coach Chow to call a timeout for Chinese Taipei. They trail by 14. Only halfway through this first quarter. Coach Chow needs to make some changes. Let's listen to what he has to say.
不是每个切进都要投篮啊，你全在抛那个都没用，切进去，或者是跟进去做中继接球，对不对？你不要切上去就抛了，那个跟20%的命中率怎么会做呢？都不好啊，是不是？他在切外面做动位嘛，你不要切2个人站原地不动，是不是？叉子给我，我们刚在做那个5号拉开的时候，再提醒一下，好。5号拉开有点像17的动作，再看哈。现在就直接来那个，我用4号来在那边，5号在那边。第一来做 handle 跟那个挡来做 ，handle 完之后上来做挡针做后挡 back pick。时间差抓住啊！站起来，站起来。好，怎么样？哎，你要快一样，切进去不要就扔了，其他可以再传，外面空间很大。
进球先走，罚球再走脚。
No need for panic at this stage of the game. Coach Chow, all calm and collected in the huddle. His team trail by 14 though. After a relatively good start to the game, offensively in particular. The Chinese defense really has locked them out of proceedings right now. Do Chinese Taipei have an answer for the marauding Chinese team? Yeah, certainly dominant so far today. Halfway through the first quarter, 14-point lead. Going to plan for Coach Du. Tang, a little bit short on that one, and Zhao Qi with the easiest of rebounds that he's going to get. There's the putback 2. That takes him to 6 points alongside 6 rebounds now. Clearly on his way to almost the obligatory double-double. Hands it off to Chen. Good ball movement by Chinese Taipei, but it's not really direct enough. They're not causing China problems. It's all around the periphery. Out to transition. Foul is called on Chen. As Hu goes hard to the basket. In transition. He just reaches in and grabs his wrist. Send Hu to the line. Min Juen will carry on, no doubt, with his strong free throw shooting. 80% from the free throw line across the qualifiers. Had a big game against Chinese Taipei in the reverse of this fixture. 26.6 rebounds, 4 assists in that one. Gets his first points of the game registered. Second is good to go. That will see Hu head to the bench as well. Back into the game comes Sun Min Hui. 18-point lead, and maybe China are taking out some of their frustrations from yesterday on Chinese Taipei here. Determined to send out a message to say that yesterday was merely a blip, an aberration. Steps inside, good move. Chen breaks the seal. A long time coming for Chinese Taipei. Got their first 6 points pretty early on and have to wait till 6.5 minutes in to get their next. Zhao Qi's going to get called for the foul as he knocks Tang Wei Shea to the floor. Not going to see it from now. That's the step in. Smart play. There's the offensive foul call. Into the game now for China comes Xu. Out of the game comes Go and Zhao. Also coming in is Zhu. Chow now at the top, drives inside, pulls up, gets another score, back-to-back buckets for Chow Wei Chen. played 2 minutes in the qualifiers prior to today's game and steps in and gets 4 quick points just when Chinese Taipei needed them as well. Three goes up and is good for Sun. China shooting the ball really well from downtown today. 5 from 7 from range for them so far. Sun now up to 5 points. China's lead out to 17. Zhao looking to back his way to the basket. Good strength, rejected though. But tried to be saved by Sun, but can't save it. Instead throws it straight back to Zhao, who will find. He gives you with the score. Wei Chen certainly having a positive impact on proceedings. Triple team drops down to Zhao. Three is good though, and that's the problem for Chinese Taipei. Whenever Zhao gets the ball in the low post, they've got to help down. They can't play him one-on-one. That creates a ton of space on the perimeter. Liu with the 3 that time. Zhao picks up his 3rd assist. Liu range the big 2. Long range 2. Chinese Taipei to within 16, and after a tough middle section to this quarter, Chinese Taipei starting to warm up offensively again. They need to work on the defensive end. Zhao looks to back his way back in. They pulled the chair on him, which worked for a little bit. Foul's going to be on the floor. Zhao Qi almost lost his footing on that play as they just stepped out the way. He was looking for the contact, it wasn't there. Foul's going to be called on the floor instead. You'd say they're almost giving up maybe 15 to 20 centimeters on Zhao Qi. His woes from the free throw line continue though. 0 from 3 so far today. Connects with his 4th attempt of the day though. China have been very, very impressive offensively here in the first quarter. They're on track, on pace for a 120-point game. Liu now. Waits for the screen from Sun. Drives inside. Pass is too far. Needed a step further around Zhao Qi to get the pass round. Sun now drives inside, pass intercepted by Zhao. Foul's going to be called on Zhu. China putting a little bit of full court pressure on. Just to slow Chinese Taipei down. 40 seconds left here in the first quarter. Yu now looking to shape up. Uses the screen from Sun. Goes inside, off target. Zhou with an easy rebound for his 8th of the game. More rebounds and points right now for Zhou. About a 3.5-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Good ball movement from China and another wide open 3. This time it's Zhu. And that will be the end of the first quarter here in Melbourne. Everything going to plan really for Coach Du and his team. At the end of the first quarter, it's Chinese Taipei 14, China 34. Here are the shooting stats from that first quarter. Phenomenal numbers from China. highly efficient across the board. Chinese Taipei trying to stay with them. After a tough midsection, they accelerated their offense. Here are some of the best plays from that first quarter of action. And it really is an offensive juggernaut, the Chinese team. Once they get going, it's tough to stay with them. And so many weapons across the board. 34 points in that first quarter and not one player in double digits. That tells you strength and depth in numbers for China. Their leading scorer, as has been many times, is Zhou Qi. He has 7 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Well on his way to a triple-double. Just behind him is Go with 6 points, 2 rebounds. Sun with 5 points and Liu with 5 points as well. As for Chinese Taipei, well, off the bench, Cho Wei Chen come in and put 4 points on the board alongside a rebound and an assist. 2 players on 3 points are Tang and Wu. China, as we expected, in the driving seat here in Melbourne in this last game. If you want to get your devices out now, scan that QR code. It'll take you to a relatively new service, courtside 1891. Brings you the schedule, scores, and plenty of live streams from competitions and leagues around the world. Definitely worth a subscription. Check that one out. China, as you would expect, back on the floor first, and Chinese Taipei just taking their time, needing a little bit more instruction and direction from the coaching staff before they come back out for the second quarter. Ball inbounded and the second quarter is underway here in Melbourne. World Cup qualifier between Chinese Taipei and China. End of the first quarter, it's China with a 20-point lead. Sun goes to the running hook shot, but the defense is good from Wang. Wu goes inside, hands it off to Wang. Wang takes a bit of contact and can't get the shot away. China hold on to possession. Wang now drives the baseline inside, gets the score. And this is another one of the strengths of China. As much as we rave about Zhou Qi, they then have the backup big of Wang Zheling, who in pretty much any other team would be the starting big man. And does a good job. Sun there with the 2 for Chinese Taipei though. It's important for Chinese Taipei that they just keep the scoreboard ticking over. Can't afford to have big gaps where they fail to score. Dropped into a 2-3 zone now. Let's see how that changes the game. Should help their rebounding, that's for sure, but should give up some space outside for jumpers. Rebound by Wang. He kicks it out. Where's the foul going to be? The offensive foul's going to get called on Chao Lui. As I think it was Yu trying to sneak around and intercept the ball, and Chao just stepped across. Chinese Taipei to inbound. Chao now hands it off to Yu. Shot clock at 6, Sun. Has to throw it away. It was either that or get the ball swatted back in his face from Wang Zheling. Chinese Taipei will make the change. In fact, a double change. Tang will come in. Chao will head out for Chinese Taipei. Also coming out of the game is Sun as Chen comes in. Chinese Taipei back into 2-3 zone. Just to see if China are strong and confident enough to shoot the 3. This time, Xu steps in. Wang with the rebound. His second rebound of the game already. China certainly little bit phased by this zone defense. Wang will come back out. At the moment, they're playing into the hands of the zone defense because they're just playing a relatively static, balanced offense. And they either need to use some screens to break the zone apart a little bit, or just try and overload the floor to, yeah, create some mismatches and some issues. Just playing a relatively slow, balanced offense won't break down Chinese Taipei's zone. Yu drive into the basket. Foul's going to be called. Be a sideline ball for Chinese Taipei. Second team foul of the quarter for China. Little under 2.5 minutes gone in this second quarter. China holding on to a 20-point lead. Tang gives that one up to Chang. He can't get the score, and Zhao picks up the rebound pretty easy. China at the moment really struggling to break down this Chinese Taipei zone, and I'm sure there's plenty of other coaches around Asia watching this one. Shot goes up, no good, but China get the rebound, and that's something Chinese Taipei really can't afford. China will get another go, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Gets the shot away, Wang with the offensive rebound, and Wang will go to the line for 2 shots as he draws another foul. That's the shot going up, Wang not being boxed out, and you have to question Cheng Chao Hao on that one. Really needs to step across Cheng. At least create some body contact on Wang. You can't allow a player of that size and ability just to slowly cruise their way down the lane and pick up offensive rebounds however they like. Whoever's the middle point on that zone for Chinese Taipei has to be responsible for bodying the big man on China. Wang hits the first of his 2 free throws. 71% from the free throw line prior to today's game. Wang Jialing. Doesn't get the second to go, but China grabbed another offensive rebound. And this is killing Chinese Taipei right now. And Wang's going to get called for the offensive foul. I don't think he realized that his team had held on to possession. He's gone back to play defense. And he just runs through and, well, literally just runs through Wu. Chinese Taipei will take possession. Chen brings it up over the half. Lu now drives inside. Nice little right hand, soft scoop off the glass for 2. Chinese Taipei to within 19. They're now going to move to a man-to-man defense. Foul's going to get called on Tang. As Sun Minhui goes to the basket. Yeah, just reaching in. At the line for 2 shots, averaging 5 points a game and 3 assists, Sun Minhui. This is the first of his 2. As coach Du Feng will have a million things running through his mind. First being obviously closing out this game, trying to take the win, finish off their first round qualification, and move themselves to a 4-win, 2-loss record. They'll have half a mind on the Asia Cup, which starts in a little over a week's time. And then they'll have maybe a tiny slither of attention on the second qualification round for the World Cup as well. Plenty for these coaches to have to think about on the international basketball stage, especially at the moment as we're still kind of getting over the jet lag, as it were, from the pandemic. Shot goes up. That one's an air ball, though. Just about scrapes some of the nylon off the net. But Lu comes up short. Chinese Taipei make the change. Into the game comes Chen, out goes Yu. Now into Wang, baseline spin. Just strength and power to get to the basket, draws another foul. And I'll be honest, if I'm Chinese Taipei, they go back to that zone. I think it's easier for them to work out how to box out and grab a defensive rebound than it is to stop the power of China's interior players on a man-to-man basis. When they're in the zone, China really didn't seem to have an answer to break down that defense. I'm sure plenty of Asian coaches are noting that. Potentially will put a zone against China in future games. Wang gets both to go. Strong work from the free throw line for Wang Zheling. Up to 5 points now, alongside 3 rebounds. 22-point lead from China, a little under 5.5 minutes left in this first half. Liu now drives hard to the basket, but the defense is good there from Zhao. And Sun kind of gets fortunate in a way. Ended up in a bit of a cul-de-sac, ended up in a dead end. Drives to the basket hard, the crossover is good, but almost ends up running into his teammate. Sideline ball. Chinese Taipei now in the penalty, so future fouls will send China to the free throw line. Wang has it stripped away, gets it back, draws the foul, and Wang will go back to the free throw line yet again. He certainly has done a great job in drawing fouls. This will be his 3rd trip to the free throw line. 3 from 4 so far today. Applies his trade for Shanghai Sharks in the CBA in China. It's the first of his 2. Second is no good though, and the rebounding turns into a wrestling match. I think Chinese Taipei are going to come away with that one. Foul is called on Go Chuan. Chinese Taipei need to secure their defensive rebounds. #1 priority to a certain degree. I drop to the zone and then that's the job. Make sure every player bodies up when a shot goes up. Walks out and goes for the rebound. Tang now on the offensive end though. Stolen away into the hands of Go. Wide open, Zhao, no good. Good rebound, that's a hard-fought rebound. Tang, inside. Shot goes up and he's good. Wu Yiping brings Chinese Taipei up to 20 points. Trims China's lead to 21. For Wu, that's 5-point personal. Shot goes up and he's good though for Xu Jia. Timeout has been called on the back of that one though. China's lead at 24 points now, 4:14 left. And Coach Chow calls the timeout. Let's head into this Chinese Taipei huddle.
发动时机都不对啊！你在这边4号豆还在这边跑，你就已经启动了，所以他怎么去做 pick and roll？
等一下，我先站这里。
他都还没到定位，你就已经发动了，所以不要太急嘛。现在的 five， 你看哦，都做 hand off， 第3个 hand off 才做启动。不管你4号在哪里，不管任何4号在什么地方，走哪一边都一样。hand off 进来这边来做打，但是这个要快一点哦。当他第1个走的时候，快到了第2个的时候，你从这边上来已经太慢了，所以第1个在走，第2个在启动的时候我就要冲出来了。你不要慢慢跑，你慢慢跑 好的时候，他就跟上来就把你推掉了。所以推到环拉过来的时候，可以一样说再出来做挡，最后才是这个做 back pick。但是进去记住啊，这个你做没机会继续再走，OK吗？防守尽量不要太多。
Here's a replay of that three from the corner from Zhu. Smart play. Coach Chow at the moment is between a rock and a hard place because China provides such an awkward matchup. They have so much power and threat on the inside. Their front court is pretty impressive. But you can't just flood the paint and try and body out because they can shoot the ball. They have a phenomenal shooting backcourt as the foul's going to get called on Sun Minghui. That will send Chow to the line as China are in the penalty as well. Both teams early into the penalty. Over 4 minutes still to play in this second quarter. Trying to get the first to go, and when you're down by 24 this early in the game, every single opportunity you have to capitalize on it. Let's get the second to drop though. Oh, Wang steals it away from his own teammate, but China will come back with it and rescue it. What a hustle back to Wang for the easy little drop in. And bar the final quarter yesterday, I have been very, very impressed with China across this qualifying window. They've looked well balanced, well coached, very disciplined, plenty of heart. And they're putting hustle on it. Just had a little bit of a 10-minute meltdown yesterday. Bar that, they have looked exceptionally good. Sun now. Not going to find Wang. Wang didn't quite seal out well enough, and Chinese Taipei steal it back. Chow for three. In and out with that attempt. Chow gets it out to go. They space the floor so well as Chinese Taipei drop into their zone. Wide open, shot goes up, that one's short. Wang with the rebound, much better from Chinese Taipei. Boxing out on that zone, I think is their best way forward. Catch and shoot for Wu. No good, and no one chasing the offensive boards for Chinese Taipei. Wang now, inside, draws another foul, but this time he gets the score. Wang Jialing just too strong for Chen. Really, Chen has to lean on his footwork a little bit harder. Needs to focus in and get his feet moving quicker in that situation. At the line for the bonus. Comes up short, tries to grab his own rebound. It's knocked away. He will get the rebound in the end. And the score. Wang Jialing with the score. You wonder if he looked across to the bench as well there and saw Shen sitting there, more than likely ready to replace him, and thought, well, I'll miss the free throw and it'll grab me a few more seconds on the floor. And he makes the most of it. Takes himself to double digits now. 12 points for Wang Jialing. Sun with the long two for Chinese Taipei, and the wrestling in the low post from Zhu and Wu. Admirable, if slightly illegal. Zhu called for the foul though, so Wu will head to the free throw line, and you can see why. Zhu for China not even trying to go for the ball, not even looking at where the ball is, just intent on stopping Wu Yiping from getting to it. Wu hits the first of his two free throws. Doesn't get the second to go though, and Shen grabs his first rebound as he's come into the game for Wang. Shot goes up and is good. Shoot. Gets the score. Jia doing a good job. His second bucket of the game. Both from outside. Oh, and a tough play, just hard-nosed from Wu. Stepping up to the physical challenge that China present right now. China's lead reduced down to 19, stolen away. Out of the races, too far for Tang though. Can't hold on to that one. And he's up in the VIP seats on the baseline. Nice pass and a good finish. Great cut by Shen. That shows you the strength that China have. 28 bench points now for them, half their points coming off the bench. Plenty to thank Wang Zheling for, to be fair, as he has 12 points to his name. Foul's going to be called. That will send Chinese Taipei back to the line. 31 seconds left in this first half. Chinese Taipei 24, China 55. It's going the way the form book would have suggested, but once again, Chinese Taipei, they don't back down from a challenge. They have phases within the game where they absolutely compete with any team that they go against. The issue they've had again today is those phases just not long enough, not consistent enough throughout the game. 7-second differential between shot clock and game clock. So Chinese Taipei, if they can grab the rebound, if there is one, should get another option. Good ball movement, wide open, Shu in the corner, no good. And inadvertently come away with the rebound. 9 seconds to work with though, plenty of time. Shot clock, clock at 2. Long high archer is no good, and that will be the end of the first half here in Melbourne. And a great first half for China. A job to be done. And so far they're halfway to that. Chinese Taipei 26, China 55. That's your halftime score. Relatively content Chinese team walking to the locker room for the half-time break. 29-point lead. They'll be happy with that so far. Area shooting stats, no weaknesses on show for China at all. Also dominating the rebounding battle. 29 rebounds for China, including 11 offensive rebounds. Leading the way is Wang Zheling with 12 points for China. Wu, top scorer for Chinese Taipei at the half with 8 points. Both teams started the game brightly. That was the first score of the match for Zhou. Quickly returned the favour though, the and one play from Chinese Taipei, but it was at that midpoint, 2-3 minutes into that first quarter, when China just really squeezed on Chinese Taipei, locked them out on their offensive end, and Chinese Taipei struggled to get any points for 3 or 4 minutes of that first quarter, and that's really what broke this game wide open. China led 34-14 at the end of the first quarter, and then they continued to push hard in the second quarter, winning the second quarter 21-12. That's what gives us our 26-55 halftime scoreline in favour of China. And plenty of big performances for China so far in the first half. Just one player in double digits. Zheling Wang has 12 points, 3 rebounds and an assist to his name. And then his fellow big man, Zhao Qi, has 7 points and 8 rebounds alongside 4 assists, potentially on his way to a triple-double if he gets enough playing time on the floor. And then 2 players with 6 points is Sun and Xu. Chinese Taipei, Wu is leading the way with 8 points, has 2 rebounds as well, including 1 from outside. But the player coming off the bench, CHN, has done a good job. He's at 5 points so far, alongside 1 rebound and 1 assist as well. This is the final game here in the Group B of the Asia region for World Cup 2023 qualifiers. China, Japan and Australia will progress through to the second qualification round. Chinese Taipei's hopes of making it to the World Cup next year ended yesterday with defeat to Japan. However, both teams, this is an important game for China. This game will carry forward to the second round, so they'll need the win. And for Chinese Taipei, they now start their preparations for Asia Cup, which tips off a little over a week away. Halftime score here in Melbourne, Chinese Taipei 26, China 55.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
Tucker pulls up for the 3 and hits and 1.
Stolen away, good read by Nartai. He's with Cameron. Oh, Nartai with the thunder. Jordan Nartai goes to the top floor, throws it down.
Chisholm looking for support. Good movement. Chisholm will slam. Oh, what an offensive possession that was.
Out in transition, swatted away and saved. Wonderful play.
Quick hands, and here he is, Yusuf Hayat. Down the middle with the flush, 2 hands. Welcome to the game, young man. Welcome to the senior stage.
Well, here we go now, transition. Oh my goodness gracious! And he flexes the guns. Well, I just saw Caddy fly in the sky.
There's the pass. Jailing Wang's gonna draw the foul. Gets absolutely hammered. Scores the bucket. Will head to the free throw line. And it is truly a war out there at the moment in the paint. Blanchard will drive the baseline. It's all just a little too congested, but Blanchard works hard to get it back. Dellavedova, no good with the 3. Oh, that is a monster putback by Jackson White. Nartai going again. Oh my goodness me! Nartai with back-to-back jams, and he likes it as much as we do. Oh, Dellavedova floats it up, and Thon Maker throws it down. Australia flying high, literally and figuratively, as Thon Maker goes to the top floor. Welcome back to Melbourne in Australia for this World Cup qualifier between China and Chinese Taipei. We're at the halfway stage. China lead this one 55-26. And no short order to this player here, Wang Jialing. Coming off the bench, the big man has certainly done a job for China. 12 points, 4 from 5 from the field, 4 from 7 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds and an assist to his name as well. He is just getting the job done, really dominating the paint when he's been on the floor. As for Chinese Taipei, they may have struggled on the offensive end, but Wu Ping is getting his shots away. Certainly not fazed by the occasion or the situation his team are currently in. At the half-time, he has 8 points, 2 rebounds to his name. 3 from 5 from the field, 1 from 2 from the free throw line as well. And it's this kind of mindset that Chinese Taipei need to exhibit throughout the second half as well. That no fear mindset will help them fight back into this game. Wang leading the scoring for China with 12. Starting big man Zhou has 8 rebounds and some 5 assists. Certainly a big man brotherhood between those two, that's for sure. Still plenty of action ahead of us here. Provide you with some context though for where this game is. This is the last game within Group B in this first round of qualifiers for the World Cup 2023. 3 teams from this 4-team group progress. That's Australia, China and Japan. Chinese Taipei's chances of progression ended yesterday when they lost to Japan. China currently on a 3-2 record. If they can lock this one out, come away with the win, they'll end up with 4 wins, 2 losses. Jialing Wang looking good, drawing 4 fouls as well. He has been tough to stop, that's for sure. Smile on his face, rightfully so. So yeah, China will progress through to the second round. In the second round, Australia, China and Japan will face Kazakhstan, Iran and either Syria or Bahrain. That one will be decided later today when those teams close out their first qualifying round. For Chinese Taipei, today's game might not matter like it does to China, but their eyes will now point towards Asia Cup. Both these teams actually have been drawn within Group B of the Asia Cup. It will take place in Jakarta in a little over a week's time. And, in that group are Chinese Taipei, China, Korea and Bahrain. Chinese Taipei will start their Asia Cup campaign with a game against Bahrain, whilst China will take on Korea. Both those games on Tuesday the 12th of July. So we look at some of the game leaders for Chinese Taipei. So yeah, their attention will now be switched to the Asia Cup, and this is a warm-up game for the Asia Cup for them. And they'll be hoping to progress through to the knockout stages, and who knows how much further. A little over 3 minutes to go until the start of the second half here in Melbourne, and the city's provided a wonderful host for this qualification window. All 4 teams based in the same city, all the games taking place in this wonderful arena. We've had some magnificent crowds across the weekend in the John Cain Arena. And they have certainly been treated some great basketball of the highest order. Obviously plenty of home fans coming in to watch the Australia games. We've happily seen Australia beating China twice this weekend. Once on Thursday and once yesterday. Interesting to know what Coach Chow is looking to achieve out of the 20 minutes. Obviously try and push as hard as they can to get back into this one. It's a big ask. They're down by 29 points at the halfway stage, but Coach Chow will be looking to see what changes. Maybe it's different rotations, different defenses. We've seen them running a 2-3 zone against China and pretty effectively running a 2-3 zone in the first half, trying to stop the likes of Wang and Zhou. It seemed to work. The problem they had was trying to get the defensive rebound, though, from that zone. If they can amend that, that could be a good option for them, not just in today's game, but potentially going forward in the Asia Cup as well. For China, there's several things that I'm sure Coach Du Feng has talked about and thought about. Imagine one is injury sitting on the back of his mind. Obviously, this game, they'll want to lock it out and secure the win as early as they can in this second half. And he certainly won't want any of his star players picking up an injury this close to a major tournament. The win is absolutely #1 priority. And I imagine shortly behind that is having 12 players leave the game in a healthy state. Coach Chow enters those final discussions with his team. Gets the final instructions across before we get this second half sorted. As does Coach Du as well. China have looked impressive across these qualifiers. Just 2 losses, both of them to Australia. First one was close and the second one was really just a 10-minute sleep for China in yesterday's game. There's your QR code if you want to download the World Cup Qualifier app on iOS and Android. Completely free. Absolutely tons of stuff on that app, so jump onto that and have a look. Still 20 minutes here of action left in this first qualification round for both of these teams. As Zhou Qi comes back onto the floor. A real bright future ahead for him. 26 years old, still plenty of years of basketball ahead. Absolutely dominant, a real versatile big. Very mobile, reads the game well. Chow. Has it knocked away, and Chinese Taipei start the second half with a good defensive stop. Shot goes up, off the glass. Bank open here early for Liu in the second half. That's how they started the first half as well, to be fair. They started the game pretty briskly, got to 6 points very quickly. And then things dried up. Let's see how this third quarter plays out for Chinese Taipei. Pass inside, Zhou gets his first score of the second half. Zhou Qi doing a good job. Foul's going to get called on Sun Minghui there. Just bumping Chinese Taipei player as he comes up over the half. Here's a replay of the 3 from Liu. There's Zhou Qi getting the score easily inside. Chow now hands it off to Liu. Stolen away, good hands by Sun. And just lays it in for the easy 2. China's lead now out to 30. Yu hands it back to Wu. Leading scorer in the first half, Wu. Traveling violation this time, though. patient, run a good structured team offense. Ball moved well. Zhao can't get it to go. Foul, I think, is going to be called on Zhou Qi. Just reaching over. Chao now looking for options. Chinese Taipei offenses are not perfectly spaced. A little bit closely connected. They need to space the floor a little bit better. They also need to make sure that they're moving off the ball as well. Foul called on Zhao. Wu. Shot goes up from downtown. Easy rebound there for Zhou. His 9th rebound of the game. Single point and a single rebound away from his double-double. Foul's going to be called on that play. Little hesitation on the dribble. Drives through, draws the contact. Good play from Sun Minghui. He's up to 10 points now alongside 5 assists. Doesn't get the bonus though, but the long rebound. He's kind to Chinese Taipei, eventually falls to Yu. Sun now trying to hand it off to Chao, does so, spin move. Good defense by China. Yu drives inside. Shot clock running out, they have to get the shot away. That's going to be a shot clock violation. And the Chinese defense, this is what they did in the first quarter to Chinese Taipei as well. Just injected a little bit more energy, but that's going to be a turnover as Hu Mingzhuang steps over the baseline. Chinese Taipei ball on the baseline now. Foul's going to be called, this time on Go Chuan. Chinese fans that have made it into the arena are letting the officials know their thoughts. Always adds to the atmosphere. Lu, off left. Rebound falls into the hands of Sun. Sun draws the foul from CHN. It'll be a sideline possession for China. Just the second team foul of the quarter on Chinese Taipei. China already in the penalty. Only had a little over 3 minutes of this quarter go. Complete cross-court pass. That came off the hands of Hu. So it will be Chinese Taipei ball. 2 turnovers in quick succession for Hu. Taipei moving the ball well around the perimeter, but not really moving anything that's going to cause China any problems. Staying balanced, keeping it on the perimeter, not making any real cuts into the paint. That's the foul going to be called on Wu Ping. 32-point lead now for China. They've been pretty much in full command of this game. Wonderful backdoor cut. Good vision. And the easy finish for Chao. As I was saying, China have been in the driving seat for 99% of the game. As expected. Good drive. Good defense by Zhou, but good follow-up by Sun for Chinese Taipei. Gets the score. Mismatch now here for Zhou. Double team's got to come across. He's got the treble team now. And Sun's going to be called to the foul as he reaches in and rips on the arms of Zhou. Chao doing all he can to try and muscle him out with his legs. It's only going to end one way. Well, actually, one of two ways. Zhou getting the score or a foul being blown on Chinese Taipei. Double change as we see Hu and Go head to the bench. Into the action comes Xu and Lu for China. Good drive to the basket, draws the foul off Sun. Two quick fouls called on Sun. And Sun, in his way, goes hard to the basket. Pretty much the only way he knows how to. Gets in amongst the trees and just try to muscle his way to the backboard. Sun Minhui will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. It's the first of his 2 to drop. Done a great job so far, Sun. Misses the second though, but he's at 11 points, 6 assists and 3 rebounds. Pretty much getting noted all over the box score right now. Drives inside, right hand, too soft this time from Chao. Shoot. Throws it cross court. And China will slow down and they'll lean heavily on their half-court offense again. Inside to Zhou. He's going to draw the foul, and I have a feeling that's the only plan that Chinese Taipei have in mind for this second half. Lu is going to get called for that foul. I don't know why Chinese Taipei don't go back to that zone. 2-3 zone. They didn't really show it against Zhou so much. But it'd be interesting to see if it could slow things down or change things up a little bit like it did in the first half for Chinese Taipei. It certainly worked and helped Coach Chao there. 1 rebound away from the double-double now, Zhou. Doesn't get the second free throw to drop. Chinese Taipei pretty fortunate there with the rebound. It falls their way. Lin now. Looking to create the space. Good ball movement here again from Chinese Taipei, but no movement towards the basket. Everything's around the periphery. That's a better move. Much stronger, much more direct. And unsurprisingly, once they do that, they get the score. Ball into Zhou. Comes back out though, wide open. Zhu gets the score. And that's the thing that doesn't get noted. When you have impressive bigs like Zhou and Wang, the defense has to collapse on them. That opens up the space on the perimeter for your shooters to get much higher percentage opportunities. This time it is Zhu who profits from that. Oh, and they get a shot away just in time. The triple for UIC. Sun now slows it down. 32-point lead for China. Almost loses the handle. to shoot. Has it swatted away. Good help side defense there for Wu. He'll head to the bench on the back of that play though. He knocked it out of bounds. Reads the game well. Helps out. Chan has come in his place. China also make the changes. Who comes into the game for Chow. Shot's no good from Xu. Little over 3 minutes to play in this third quarter. And as it stands, China's offense has slowed down, but Chinese Taipei certainly hasn't sped up. 13-10, China lead this quarter. Foul's going to be called on Xu Jie. We'll send Yu to the line for 2 free throws. Haven't taken a free throw in the qualifiers prior to today's game. Yu. Just 20 years of age. And the future stars of Chinese Taipei. Rattles home the second though. Takes his personal tally to 5 alongside a rebound. Sorry, an assist. Joe at the top. Can feed the low post. Feeds it into a double team though. Yu is blocked but fouled. So Yu will head back to the free throw line again. Tough hustle by Zhu. Let's have a look at the replay. Yu goes up. Yeah, loads of body. It's the chest contact. It's not the right hand of Zhu. Yu hits the first of those 2 free throws. And trims China's lead to 30. Remember, this is a pre-runner as well for Asia Cup. These 2 teams have been drawn together in Group B in Jakarta in a little over a week's time, alongside Korea and Bahrain. Chinese Taipei take on Bahrain in their opening game, whilst Korea is China's opponent. Zhou gets it swatted. Good defense by Lin. Lin in the corner. He's fouled by Xu. And there's the block. 3 defensive players though for Chinese Taipei, trying to lock Zhou out of the paint. Lin now at the line for 2 free throws, misses the first. His first 2 free throws of the game were his first points. He's now up to 3 points in the game. Who hands it off to Xu. Lob pass, and Zhou delicately just drops it into the bucket. There's China's lead back out to 30, a little under 2 minutes to play now in this third quarter. And the third quarter has certainly been a slower quarter. Shot goes up, that one comes up short. Rebound falls straight into the hands of Sun. Inside to Zhou. And another easy 2 points for him. Takes his tally up to 14. 9 rebounds, 5 assists for the big man. Timeout has been called here in the arena. As Coach Chow wants to talk things over with his team. 40 to Chinese Taipei, 72 to China. 1:34 left in the third quarter. Let's listen to the huddle.
1分半钟，有快攻打，没快攻打时间，对不对？ 你不要去急躁。第二个，半场的防守不要让他轻易的去干那个3分球。所以他有在做 pick and roll 完之后的远边的大角球，一定要注意一下。好，进攻在做，进攻在做，稍微还是提醒一下。进攻在做，用那个一样掰去做掰去做 ，OK 吗？那掰在做的时候呢，先确保4号在这个地方来，可以传完球，4号先确定在这边来，再准备发动 ，OK 吗？不管你打哪一边，自己去判断决定。打右边进来，左边躺在这边做，这边喷过来，这边算射打。如果看到刚了，这边就直接抓篮板，这边让位置在这边来。躺，攻的时候有机会攻，没机会再继续再传出去，再继续再找。好来，
Chow talking things through as we see the damage that Joe can do. There's the lob pass and 20 centimeters extra height than anyone else on the floor. He causes serious problems for Chinese Taipei. They've thrown double teams at him, they've thrown treble teams at him. And still, he's taken his tally up to 14 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Near unstoppable at times. Lin. Shot clock to 6. Foul's going to be called. That time on Joe. Both teams have been in the penalty a while now. That's why we've seen so many free throws in this third quarter. Chen at the line, hits the first of his 2. And the second, he's up to 3 points personal. Brings China's lead back to 30. We're about to enter the final minute of this third quarter. China really well and truly on cruise control right now. They've only outscored Chinese Taipei by a single point in this quarter. Good move to the basket, but Chinese Taipei's defense just blitzes. Poor pass there by Lin Yanting. Not sure it's the time for showboating for Chinese Taipei. Their transition opportunities have been few and far between, so squandering them really is criminal. Chow now, waits for the screen to come up from Zhou. Shot goes up in the corner, no good. Rebound by Chow. Inside, doesn't get the score, but Zhou scoops it up and gets his double-double in the game. 10 rebounds, 16 points. Pretty much what his average is for these qualifiers, averaging 16.5 points and 11.3 rebounds. Zhou puts up the prayer, doesn't get it to go. It's only slightly off target though. But that will be the final shot of the third quarter. And China in full control of this one. Chinese Taipei 42, China 74. Slower third quarter of action. Both teams still reasonably good percentages. Chinese Taipei struggling from 2-point, but China looking good across the board. China winning that quarter 19-16, extending their lead slightly out to 32 points now. Here are the best plays from that third quarter, as Chinese Taipei had their strongest offensive quarter with 16 points. China scoring 19 in return for that. Chinese Taipei now have one player in double digits. That's Wu with 10 points. He also has 3 rebounds and a block to his name. For China, they have 3 players in double digits. Zhou with 16 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Potentially seen the last of him today. Played the whole of the first quarter, the whole of the third quarter. I imagine they'll bring on Wang Zheling in the fourth. He's got 12 points at the moment, 3 rebounds. And then Sun Minghui has 11 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Final game here in the group for this first qualification round in the World Cup qualifiers. China look like they're cruising their way to their 4th win out of 6 games. They're through to the second qualification round, and it looks like they're taking 4 wins through with them. Inspection of the eyes for Zhou Qi. 16 point, 10 rebound, double-double for him. Fourth quarter action underway here in Melbourne. The last 10 minutes of basketball in the first qualifying round for these two teams. 3 quarters down, it's Chinese Taipei 42, China 74. China looking very dominant so far. 3 goes up from Lu, no good for Chinese Taipei. As predicted, Wang Zheling is into the game for China. Oh, what a wonderful play. That is absolutely textbook from China. Beautifully executed. And an easy 2 points. That takes Wang up to 14 points. It's the defensive rebound as well. He looks to fight his way to the double-double. He's still 6 rebounds short. But he'll probably play the majority of this final quarter. Well, the pass inside isn't great. It will be Chinese Taipei ball. Pass inside now, handed off. Little soft right hand is no good from Chang. Just 22 years of age, playing in his 3rd qualifier. Chang Chenya. Pass inside, easy finish down low for Zhu. That was all about the initial positioning and singling out his defender. The finish was the easy piece. Lin now. And Chinese Taipei run a little bit of a weave at the top. Nice pass inside. Kick to the wing. Wide open 3 for Chang Chenya. He's only been averaging 2.5 points a game, so that first bucket of the game is above his average. He's shooting 11% as well, so no one expecting that one. A sportsmanlike foul is going to be whistled on Chen Chao Hao as he just tries to drag Wang almost to the floor. Yeah, absolutely an unsportsmanlike foul. They're going to review it. They just want to check it is an unsportsmanlike. So while they review that, the players will head to their benches, have a quick chat with the coaching staffs respectively. The officials head to the camera, to the monitor to review this foul. Yeah, I think it looks like an unsportsmanlike for me. I think it's the right call. It's the call that's on the floor. Will send, if it's upheld, Wang to the line for 2 shots, and China will take possession as well. The unsportsmanlike shot is upheld, so China will get 2 free throws and possession, as Chen is called for the unsportsmanlike foul. Wang out the line for his 2 free throws. Pretty good free throw shooter, Wang Zhiling, especially for someone standing 2 meters 12 tall. Now be sideline possession for China. Their lead extends further, 35 points lead for China now. And the game has dropped down a few gears, understandably so. Wang battling his way in, foul's going to be called. I think that one is on Chen again. Second team foul of the quarter for Chinese Taipei. 2.5 minutes gone. 7.5 minutes still to play in the game. Drives inside, the lane just opened up for him and he gets the score. Smart play by Hu. Lu now at the top, looking for options. Screen set by Chen. Lu will put the 3 up and hit the 3. He's looked good today. It's up to 10 points for Lu now. 4 from 12 from the field. Offensive foul is going to be called. This time on Go Chuan. Slightly light one, that one. Chan certainly bought it a little. The officials just clamping down as a little bit of frustration sets in. We've seen a couple of physical fouls starting to creep into the game, and the officials just stamping it out maybe before it progresses a bit further. Lu now moves it to Chen. Chen looking to feed the low post. And again, there's a little bit of the aggression. As Sun throws his arm at Chen, and it seems to be, sorry, at Chang, and it seems to be Chang who's the center of this at the moment, the antagonizer potentially. Sorry if you can see, hear some foul language. I think it's coming from the crowd. We apologise for that. Going to go and review, I think. Let's see what they come up with. In fact, now the officials are just going to call it, as the players are having another conversation, a heated debate. Unnecessary at this stage of the game. Understandable, though. Foul was originally called on Sun Minghui. Let's have a look at the replay, and it's just getting locked in together. Chang wouldn't let go of Sun's arm, so Sun rips his arm away, and that's what causes the initial confrontation. Just arms being interlinked and locked up. Unnecessary. Baseline ball for Chinese Taipei off the back of that play. Into the corner, catch and shoot for Liu, but he steps out of bounds. So it will be a China ball on the sideline now. 6:38 left on the game clock here in Melbourne. Final game of this first qualifying round for this group as they battle it out, literally, in the last couple of minutes. Sun looking to go to work, skips it to the weak side. Now to Wang. Wang will take the long two. That comes up short though. And rebound for Chinese Taipei. Out in transition. Smart play, but the travel's going to be called on Chen. I like the idea of the pump fake. But unfortunately, his footwork let him down. Wang's got the mismatch in the low post. The double's going to come down to help him. They move the ball well for the three. Too heavy. Rebound picked up by Chao though. Liu, short. China with the rebound. 1-on-1, 2-on-1. Good move. Just a tough play by Hu for the bucket. Takes his personal tally to 6. Gets a shot to go. Much more dynamic offense from Chinese Taipei. Push themselves up to 51 points now. 5 points for Chen alongside his 4 assists. Hu arrives inside, can't draw the foul, can't get the bucket. Chao now. 3-on-2 break. Liu, no good with the 3. Out of bounds off the hands of Zhu though. So it remains Chinese Taipei ball. Double change for China as Wang will head to the bench. Into the game comes Shen and Ren. Chinese Taipei will make the change as well. Tang comes in, Chen heads out. Long pass in, catch and puts it straight up. Shen pulls down the rebound. Not a bad player to have your third choice big man. Shen. Still a little bit of afters, as these teams won't back down from each other. Shoot. Again with Chang. I have a feeling that China might be targeting Chang a little bit now. Unnecessary from Xu there, to be fair. He's the one at fault on that one. Chang has been taken out of the game by Coach Chao now, and Wu has come in. Offensive foul is going to be called on Ren. As the physicality of the game continues to increase. 4 minutes 21 to play. I think they're going to review it as well. Yep, they want to see if it's an unsportsmanlike foul. This game is slowly descending into silliness from both teams. Let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, I think I'm giving that as an unsportsmanlike foul. on Ren. Yeah, absolutely it is. Puts his shoulder into his face. Yeah, for me, that's an unsportsmanlike. I'm not sure what the officials think. We'll wait to see. Smile on the face of Yu-I-Che. Interesting to see what Coach Du's reaction is. My presumption is he's chastising his players for the silliness. Yeah, unsportsmanlike foul is given. So Yu will head to the line for 2 free throws, and Chinese Taipei will take possession after these free throws as well. Both teams on 3 team fouls now. Yu heads to the line. As you can hear, plenty of Chinese fans here in the arena. This is both at the line. Chinese Taipei trail by 33. 4:21 to play. As this game has descended into a very different spectacle. It was an enjoyable game, certainly for the first 35 or so minutes. It's become a little bit overly physical, a little bit overly emotional as well. And it's taken away the spectacle of just good basketball. Yu drives to the basket, throws it out of bounds. Foul's going to be called though, is it? Yeah, it is. There's only 0.4 seconds left on the shot clock as well, so Yu will head back to the free throw line for 2 free throws. That's 3 misses from 3 shots. It's the 4th though. Let's hope that's the last of the silliness on the floor. And we can get back to what was a good basketball game. Sun now. Offensive foul is going to be called on Ren. That's back-to-back fouls for him. Weave again at the top for Chinese Taipei. They go inside. Good defense this time by Shen. Just stands tall. Bats it away. 12 seconds still on the shot clock though for Chinese Taipei. Chow. Nice pass inside. Good defense again. That time by Ren. Long outlet pass and Sun had leaked out. He gets the easy score. China's lead extends even further. 34 points now. A little over 3 minutes on the game clock left. As pretty as this weave is at the top, it's not direct enough for Chinese Taipei. There's been too much time of their shot clock passing the ball easily around the perimeter rather than creating some issues. Hu now, baseline. Comes back out to Sun. Sun inside, wide open, shoot for 3. Not enough on that one. Oh, a poor putback by Ren. Gives Chinese Taipei possession. And the shot is good. Smart move by Yu-I-Che. And the shot is good from Shu. Thankfully, the game has just picked up the pace again. 2:08 left on the game clock, and a timeout has been called here. 34-point lead from China, 2:08 to play. And Coach Chow of Chinese Taipei has called the timeout. Let's head into his huddle.
他们已经5次的犯规了。待会我们在做5的时候，在做5的时候注意看给你来做中间，你来做中间，你来做右边 ，Polo 在这边来，等一下这个是3，另外呢，正阳，注意看了，我们攻这边所以这边 hand off 完之后，这边再 hand off 完之后，把你埋在这个地方，准备做后挡。这边进来让那个爱子来做，这边呢直接跑过来做 back pick，没有，这边直接这必须要做后挡就好，这边直接进来 ，OK 吗？好，这样子所以这边的是挡射手，这边老赵进来挡控球，这边过来就埋在这边，来，1、2、3，加油！
Coach Zhao using this as preparation for Asia Cup. No two ways about that. It's off in a little over a week's time in Jakarta, Indonesia. These two teams will face each other again in the group stages of that one. Baseline ball for Chinese Taipei. Ball inbounded, almost stolen away by Xu. Just not quite quick enough, which is very rarely said about Xu. Yu inside, draws foul. He'll head to the free throw line again. China picking up a lot of fouls. Hu this time with the foul. UIJ gets it to go. Doesn't get the second to go though. Stolen away almost, but it's only knocked into the hands of Hu. And China will slow things down and they'll lean on their half-court offense again. Xu now on the wing, inside, lovely pass, and a great interior pass, and the two-handed flush is good for Shen. Foul's going to be called again on Ren. There's the pass inside, and here's the smart interior pass. And the easy finish for Shen. That was called. Shot no good for Chang Chenya. It's the second to go though. Under 90 seconds to play. Has been an interesting game. China were looking good throughout. Got a little bit tempestuous here in the fourth quarter as emotions ran a little bit high between the two teams. It kind of took the air and the spectacle out of the game, but we've still had a good game between these two, and China will be relieved. This was a potential banana skin moment for them. Chinese Taipei have the ability to upset teams. Just the consistency has been lacking. That one's thrown straight out of bounds though, and will be China ball on the sideline. In fact, it's thrown straight out without anything being touched, so it will go to the baseline for China. And China now will progress through to the second round with 4 wins and 2 losses as the record they take with them. 2 losses were against Australia. Australia proceed with that perfect record, and Japan go forward with 2 wins, 4 losses. And for Chinese Taipei, their focus is now fully on the Asia Cup. Strong move under the basket for Shen. And themselves a trip to the free throw line. .3 seconds left on the game clock. Shen Chen hits the first of his 2 free throws. Oh, the Shenzhen Leopards in the CBA. Second is good to go as well. To a game-high 38-point lead now for China. As Liu slows it down. Hands it off to Chao, and once again they run their weave at the top. Doesn't create the problems. Chang, air ball from him, and he's certainly been affected from the emotion of the little fracas that he was involved with. Xu is gonna look to use the screen, kicks that one out to Ren. Oh, Ren nails the string music from range. And extends China's lead to 41 points. Shot clock turned off. Chinese Taipei will look to take the last shot of the quarter. Passed inside. And Chang's going to draw the foul on Ren. And again, Chang struggling from the free throw line. He's been there enough times. Not shot the ball well at all. He was only 50% from the free throw line prior to today's game, so certainly an area of his game he needs to work on. Rebound pulled down by China. Hu for 3. Gets it away, but doesn't get the score, and that's the final buzzer here in Melbourne, Australia, at the end of this first round of qualifiers for these two teams. Final score is Chinese Taipei 56, China 97. Good performance from the Chinese team as they show some appreciation for the Chinese fans that have come to the arena, and they have been supported in numbers across their qualifiers here in Melbourne. Big Chinese community in the city. But big performances throughout this Chinese team, closing out this first qualification round in style with a strong 41-point win over Chinese Taipei. Attention for them will now switch to Asia Cup. At the blink of an eye, they will have to get in their mindset for the Asia Cup. Here's the shooting percentages for today, though. Both teams actually shooting pretty well. To be fair, China shooting phenomenally well. Just both free throw performances pretty mediocre, but outside of that, very good. China dominating the rebounding battle, 49-12, including 15 offensive rebounds. Zhou, the leading scorer, alongside Wang, the two big men doing the job for China, 16 points apiece, and Yu leading the way for Chinese Taipei with 11 points. Here are the best plays of that second half of action. A slower third quarter is what we were dealt, with China just winning that one 19-16. And then the final quarter got all a little bit too emotional as the teams lost their minds a little bit and the physicality boiled over. As we saw some physical confrontations, which kind of took the air out of the game as we crawled our way to the final buzzer, as both teams were more concerned about saving face at times than they were about potentially playing basketball. But that said, there were still some big performances across the board for China. Their two big men getting the job done. Zhou with 16 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. And Wang with 16 points and 5 rebounds. Other player in double digits, though, there were two others. Sun had 13 points and Xu had 10. As for Chinese Taipei, 3 players managed to get above 10 points. Yu with 11, Liu with 10, and Wu with 10 as well. Wu with 10 as well. But they still trail this one, 56-97 at the final buzzer. As I said, this closes out the group here in the first qualification round. Australia, China and Japan will progress through to the second round, where they will face Kazakhstan, Iran and either Syria or Bahrain. As we see a replay of that altercation that started all the silliness. So China will go through to that second round. They'll take with them 4 wins out of 6 games. Not a bad record to take with them. Keeps their pretty strong hopes of actually qualifying for the World Cup alive. But both these teams now will look forward to Asia Cup in Indonesia in a little over a week's time. They're both drawn in Group B. Alongside them in Group B is Korea and Bahrain. Chinese Taipei will tip off their Asia Cup campaign against Bahrain on Tuesday the 12th. Also on that day, China will take on Korea. But a good game we've had here in Melbourne. In fact, a good qualification window all round here in Melbourne. Wonderful city hosting us. Australia finish out the first qualification round perfectly. 6 wins, no losses. China, 4 wins, 2 losses. Japan, 2 and 4. And Chinese Taipei eventually leave these World Cup qualifiers without a win on that 0-6 record. Phenomenal game we've had here for China. It was the big men that brought them through. Wang and Zhou, 16 points apiece. A double-double for Zhou. Final score here in Melbourne, 56 to Chinese Taipei, 97 to China. And that is the end of the first qualification round here